my name is Harrison, and today we're going to be talking about the introduction to academic writing. So writing and publishing academic papers in English is a challenge to most Chinese students. However, it has gradually become a part of a higher education and career development. Today, we will move to academic writing module and give you a brief introduction in the first session. Point number 1, purposes of academic writing. Generally speaking, an academic paper is a formal piece of writing in which academics present their views and their research findings on a chosen topic. Now, we write academic papers to advance knowledge in a research field with evidence, to explain new ideas and make them accessible to others, and to solve practical problems. So point number 2, genres of academic writing. Academic papers can be divided into different categories: research papers, research reports, theses and dissertations, short communications, review articles, and oral presentations or posters. And then point number 3, features of academic writing. Academic writing is quite different from the conversational, casual style. It's also different from the writing in newspapers or novels. Now, let's compare these two sentences. The first sentence: because the technology has improved, it's less risky than it used to be when you install them at the same time, and it doesn't cost so much either. The second sentence says, improvements in technology have reduced the risk and high costs associated with simultaneous installation. Now, which sentence is more academic? Obviously, the second one is better for academic writing because of the employment of formal expressions, such as simultaneous instead of the use of at the same time, and the nominal structure. Academic writing is a particular style of expression, so it has its unique features: formality, objectivity, accuracy, complexity, and hedging. So, formality. Academic writing is formal. So, in an essay, you should avoid colloquial words and expressions such as stuff, or a lot of, or thing, or sort of. These type of verbal phrases. So, for example, use employ instead of make use of, conduct for carry on, because single verbs are more formal and precise. Abbreviated words used in informal writing, such as ad for advertisement or pop for popular. You should also avoid contracted structures like can't or doesn't or weave, and conversational structures like I think or you will, etc., and too many short and simple sentences. The next point is objectivity. So academic writing sets a high value on objectivity. This means that the main emphasis should be on the information that you want to give and the arguments that you want to make, rather than you. So avoid words like I or me, myself, we, and you. So for example, do not write, we can infer that. Instead, you should write, it can be inferred that. You can also change, it is commonly believed that, instead of I believe that. In academic writing, passive voice is often used because it gives a paper a sense of impartiality and of objectivity. For example, instead of writing, we must appropriately evaluate genetic resources and core collections in order to effectively utilize them, it would be more conventional to say, genetic resources and core collections must be evaluated appropriately in order to be effectively utilized. Nominalization is widely used in academic writing. It means we turn a verb or an adjective into a noun. So nominal structures can also give priority to actions rather than to the people who are responsible for them, and can make the writing more concise. Here's an example. So we analyzed the experiment, and what we found made us realize that the technique is quite complex. Now for this sentence, we may rewrite it using a nominal phrase to make it more objective and concise. So the experimental analysis showed technical complexity. The next point is accuracy. Academic writing uses vocabulary accurately. Most subjects have words with narrow, specific meanings. For example, cash, currency, capital, funds can all refer to money. But when you are writing an academic paper, it is necessary for you to know the subtle differences and that these words and how they're used accurately and appropriately in different contexts. Moreover, in academic writing, you need to be precise when you use information, dates, and figures. For example, don't use, quote, an enormous increase when you can say an increase of 90%. Next is complexity. Academic writing involves a highly specialized vocabulary and rigorous sentence structures. So it seems to be rather complex and difficult. To some extent, we would say that academic English has its own vocabulary and its own grammatical patterns. For example, in academic writing, there are more technical terms, more lexical variations, more non-finite verbs, such as participles, infinitives, gerunds, and more subordinate clauses. The vocabulary and grammatical patterns for academic English will be discussed in detail in the sections of vocabulary and grammar. Now let's take a look at this sentence. In seawater, imidozyme attracts and binds uranium dioxide to the surface of the braids, which can be on the order of 15 centimeters in diameter and run multiple meters in the length, depending on where they are deployed. Now in this sentence, the right uses of the technical terms imidozyme, uranium dioxide, the attributive clauses, and non-finite verbs, which make the sentence more complex. Next, we'll talk about hedging. So, besides what we've already talked about, it is recognized that an important feature of academic writing is the use of cautious language, often called hedging. In other words, we usually use a cautious tone because very often we are discussing issues in which there's absolutely no right answer or absolutely correct definition. So, in academic writing, we often write, for example, these findings suggest, or these findings indicate that. Also, it is possible, or it is likely, or it is probable that. And then this present study raises the possibility that something. Well, in this session, we've discussed the purposes of writing academic papers, the different genres of academic writing, and the conventions of writing widely accepted and followed in the academic community. Next time, we will learn more about the different steps of academic writing and how to choose a topic for an academic paper. Thank you for listening. See you next time.